First and foremost, it's the inverted pyramid style, just the regular body copy. The lead, and then, some information quotes. I went to a conference many years ago, and I don't know where I got this because I always give credit where it's due because I feel like people are like, oh my God, you created this. No, no, I didn't. The little cutie, a lead, transition, quote, transition, quote. Kids just want a structure. And so providing them like, we want a lead and we talk about leads. And then you want a transition, then quote, transition, quote. And that could really tell the story. But what one of the first assignments that I do with students when it comes to writing is they write a profile. We focus on our people section, and a lot of our people section includes profiles. And then if the profile doesn't live there, it may live somewhere else in the book, as a mod, or it could be a big feature story depending on what the profile is. But my kids are part of that process. And I can only talk about right now. I'm trying to think like, how did it all just start? It's great storytelling. And I think people are like, wait, you can tell a story about a kid who has cancer? Yeah, especially if it's impacting our community, which we've done. But we start with profiles, and we really talk about with students. If you're going to tell a profile, we want them to have this story that stands out, and everyone has a story. We just got to go find it. When you're selecting those kids, though, let's make sure it isn't, somebody that's going to be somewhere else in the book. Like this year, they were like, oh, I want to tell it about this kid who's a DJ on the side. And, that will really help promote his business. I'm like, that's awesome. Is he going to be anywhere else? And they're like, oh, he'll probably be the lead in the musical. I'm like, well, he'll get his feature there. So let's find somebody else. But, just starting with the basic profile or just basic body copywriting. And then as kids start to go through the process of writing these stories, then they have the option to then decide, well, okay, maybe this isn't going to be a body copy. Maybe it needs to be a Q&A or, some type of other mode of coverage that they want to tell. It could be a pro-con list or a top 10 list or something like that still has some writing, but that's kind of where we go. One of the first big, even before the profile assignment, one of the first big things we do with my staff, and I can talk about this year, is so at Yearbook Camp, the editors in that, they participated in a lip sync battle and they won, and we got video and pictures of that. And so we, these editors who went to camp led this lesson, and they're like, okay, you're going to tell our story. It's a practice, and we're going to practice interviewing. So we're going to show you this video. We're going to show you some pictures, and then we want you to interview us to tell this story. And so then, that's how they practice interviewing. And then we practice writing the story. And then it's like, how cool is that? Like, you think Yearbook Camp, we don't need to cover them working on the yearbook. Let's cover them preparing and competing and winning a lip sync battle. That's a story that people may not know and we want to tell. So, that's one way to kind of, I've had, it's about ownership of kids. Kids need to be part of the process. And I think when kids are helping to teach those stories, it's a domino effect.